Hello everyone, I am Tom from the Dyspraxia System, and today we want to continue talking about masking, but this time when it comes to being a system. Ashka made a video about masking as dyspraxic. I'm sure Loki will link it up there. So yeah, masking as a system. Again, for those who don't know what masking is, it is changing your behavior, repressing your behavior so that you appear normal and neurotypical. Now, Ashka goes way more in depth about that as well, but I just want to get down to doing it as a system. Now, as a system, for a while, it varies from system to system when they realize they're a system, but for a while you won't know that you're a system. You will be a singlet, or you'll think that you are a system, or singlet, I should say. Because I don't think we actually were a singlet at one point in our life. But yeah, you will appear to be a singlet, you will think that you're a singlet for a long time, and even if there are hints that you have alters, you'll probably repress that and not talk about it with anyone, because you might think that you're going crazy. You might think that you're possessed or something like that, or at least so we've seen other people say. Loki did talk about some of the signs with their friends, not with family whatsoever, but with friends they would talk about it, although they didn't like it all that much either. They weren't fully open about it either. They were a little scared. But yeah, and then when you find out that you're a system, you will probably hide it as well. You might be ashamed of it. You might feel very negative towards it. And there's also a lot of stigma around being a system. So it makes sense that you wouldn't tell anyone that you're a system. We've only told some friends and Loki's lover, but only very close friends. One of our siblings knows. But we did test what their opinion about plurality was first. So yeah, you might be very scared, because if you hear stigma around this being a system, it's all very negative stuff. And a lot of people just don't believe in it. So obviously you want to protect yourself from the negative comments from the people around you, the people you care about, especially if some of those people also happen to be abusers. Obviously you won't risk telling your abusers, because they might double down on the abuse. They might make it worse. And they'll probably deny all your trauma anyway. But yeah, even if you are open being a system, there will not be people that will fake claim you. So obviously there is, as much as there is positive stuff, there is negative stuff that comes with being open as a system. So it makes sense that you try to act as a singlet. For systems who have a host, this is not always the case, but for us it is, so that's just our experience. But for systems who have a host, this will most likely be that all the other authors act like they're the host, or at least around other people. Online, we are open on other accounts other than our Pearl Twitter account. We also just openly talk on Loki's personal Twitter account that we don't have listed anywhere. But yeah. You'll most likely have seen that Sona, which is the person you act like around people who don't know your system. That's a specific way that you act. And the thing that Sona will most likely have the body's name, unless, for example, the host is trans, like, well, they might be cis in the interval, but like they don't identify the body's gender, or at least the gender the body was assigned at birth. So maybe it's the body's name, maybe it's the host's name. Can be that those names are the same. Host doesn't always have to have the same name as the body, but you can still act like that's all of your names. Like Loki is our host, but the body's name is not Loki. A few of our friends know us as Loki because Loki came out to them as trans with the name. Tried doing that with our parents, but they were just non-binary phobic, so that was a no. So like most, like 80-90% of the time, if not more, offline, we will have to go by the body's name. Some of us are more comfortable being called that name than others. I honestly, actually, I don't know whether or not I would be comfortable being called that name. I haven't really friends around other people. But yeah, most of the time you will have to think that Sona just because it is safer or because you don't want to risk that stigma. Sometimes people will just deny the fact that you're a system, so you fall back into being a single Sona. But yeah, when it comes to being a system, masking it is pretty much part of it. Honestly, from our own experience, masking as a system is less traumatizing as masking for like dyspraxia and other similar neurodivergencies as dyspraxia, just because as a system you mask at first anyway, like before you find out that you're a system, that you're part of a system, you mask unknowingly, some maybe more than others, but you do mask for a long time of your life, and like most times it's just safer. So yeah, honestly, we think it is an aspect that is just part of it inherently. So for us personally, it's not as traumatizing. Yes, it can feel invalidating from time to time, but it's not like we internalize the masking. There is a chance that you internalize the things that other people say, like the stigmatizing part of the disorder, there's a chance that you internalize that. That stigma around any disorder is just inherently bad and can also be inherently traumatizing. But yeah, masking as a system for us is just a part that will always be the case. We'll always have to mask to at least one person in our life. We'll probably mask at university and at work later. Well, that depends on whether or not we get when we get diagnosis. We are looking into starting a diagnostic triax. That's the right word. But we are looking into starting one somewhere this year. So it depends for us whether or not we get a diagnosis. The system, obviously, when you don't have an official diagnosis, it's more likely that you'll mask everywhere. Just because then people can be like, oh no, but you just found it online. It's not real. Like, you don't have a diagnosis. What are you talking about? You're just trying to be quirky, even though that's not the case. But yeah. For us, masking will most likely be a part of our life the entire time. Might reduce over time, but I do think we keep masking for the rest of our life, at least to some extent. But yeah, for us personally, it's not that harmful. It can be annoying, very much so, especially for authors like me who aren't that much like low-key. But yeah, it is a part of it. Obviously, this is just our experience. If it is traumatizing for you as a system, I am sorry about that. Don't really have much tips, except for try to find people that accept you as system, or you don't have to mask around. That will be very validating, as well as just comfortable and nice. But yeah, this was a video about masking as a system. I hope I covered it all. This is the first video I've done, so I don't know if I missed anything, but I don't think I did. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to share your own experience with this or have any questions, whatever, leave them down below in the comments. If you want to follow us on social media, that's in the description. And if you want to see more of our videos, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified when we upload a new video. We have a video every Wednesday, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.